All right. Let's see who hops on, and we'll see what some folks have to say. I want to pick some brains today, and I want to ask, what are Aaron Boone and Brian Cashman doing right, and what are they doing wrong? I'm really curious to see what people say. So let's give it a few minutes. See who hops on. This is a random. We're going live right now. I'll probably go live for about a half an hour, and we'll see what kind of feedback we get. I'm really, really interested to see. Um, Yankees are 33 and 17 right now. 16 games over 500. I didn't think they would be this far ahead. The Orioles are 1.5 games out. Their game was postponed last night, but they're about to lose 3-1 to the Cardinals. So, and they're in the ninth inning right now. Consigliere's here. Stephen B is here. What is going on, gentlemen? Hey, Tiffany, how are you? Aaron, what's good? And obviously, you see the question here, right? What are Aaron Boone and Brian Cashman doing right, and what are they doing wrong? Now, they'll lose one game, they'll lose two games, and you guys know we get a lot of fire them, and just endless trashing of Aaron Boone and Brian Cashman. So I'm curious to know, what folks think they're doing right, what folks think they're doing wrong. And Aaron Boone, I'll give him credit. He admitted that bringing in Clayton Andrews last night wasn't the right move, but he was a fresh arm too. So I'm not surprised that he did that. But the fact that he acknowledged it afterward, yeah, he gave up a home run, but Yankees bats didn't come back. So anybody could have given up a home run for all we know. But at the end of the day, Yankees are on a 2-game skid. It's a 2-game losing streak. That's it. Not 16 out of 20. They're on a 2-game losing streak, and there's 16 games over 500 still. So, Jose. Yeah, well, exactly. The team really did not hit. We got, occasional production here. I'm glad we got the 3-run home run from Gleyber Torres. That was a nice sight to see. And I'll take what we can get. Democracy matters. How are you, my friend? Take what we can get, right? But there are going to be times where they're going to lose a game or two in a row. It's going to happen. The best teams, that happens to. Okay, that's just part of baseball, unfortunately. And why are you worried? Democracy matters. The accountability is here. Accountability is. There's so much folks that say there was a lack of accountability and blah blah blah. It's hard to hold people accountable when you don't have any options behind the starters. So, and I think that was smothered by these talking points by a couple of content creators, Darren Boone and Brian. They don't hold people accountable. Well, how are you going to do that? Is the question. Without options behind them, how do you do it? Okay. A seasoned manager doesn't bring in a rookie for his first appearance in a run game, especially when you're swung. Oh, really? That's never happened before, Jose? So an experienced manager wouldn't do that? Just curious. Yeah, look, there are teams that are going to be formidable opponents. Like when we faced the Orioles, they beat us 3 out of 4, right? But Aaron Judge wasn't hitting, Gleyber Torres wasn't hitting, and we're still missing to this day Garrett Cole and some other folks. Now, for those that haven't heard, Clayton Andrews got DFA when he got optioned out to AAA this morning. And Tommy Kane is back in the bullpen to replace him. So, they upgraded there. A smart manager. Oh, really? So who, Jose? What smart managers have not done that before? Since you're calling them dumb, give us some insight, please. This is why I'm doing this right now, because I want to get some feedback. And I want, please, intelligent feedback based on facts. That's how we do it here. We do facts before opinions, and opinions that are backed up by facts. So you do that, Jose, that's welcome. Absolutely welcome. Yeah. Bullpen as well. Yeah, they're showing a little bit of. Yeah, there are going to be bits and parts of the season where their mechanics come off, their patient runs off, and it's hard to me stay locked in and patient 162 games in the season. I totally get that. Totally get that. So, but you're right. They have lost, and that's something, and that they've got to work on with James Rosen and the rest of the team. Absolutely. And it's another thing too. Yeah, I mean, when the hitters don't hit, the pitchers tend to pick them up. When the pitchers don't pitch, the hitters tend to pick them up, and they've done that all year. So, and at the worst, hey Tower, what's going on? Dennis, what's happening? Okay, Daniel Barry's in the house. Daniel, all right. Mariachi, I don't know. I mean, I'm curious. I actually thought when Tommy Kahnle came back, they were going to option out or DFA Tunkin. So, but they DFA Clayton Andrews. He was a more, I get it. So it was just a fresh arm to have up here. It didn't work. They sent them out immediately. So no harm done, really. So, but I would imagine Tonkin gets optioned or DFA'd once either Scotty Frost comes back or Garrett Cole, even DJ LeMahieu. There's going to have to be some 40-man roster moves that need to be made. That need to be made. So, and these guys are right around the corner coming back. DJ especially. So, well, yeah, he got Soto and didn't give up Schmidt in the deal. Yep, yep, yep. He didn't give up Spencer Jones either. Didn't give up Jason Dominguez either. So, and he worked on that deal for like a year. And again, Soto and Grisham and Verdugo and Marcus Stroman, they brought a different vibe to this team. The chemistry is different. That's important. He was very strategic with the moves he made this offseason. He didn't just go on this ridiculous splurge like the Dodgers did. Okay. That's what the Dodgers did. Fine. The Yankees did it differently. But he addressed the needs that they had that were the most problematic. Okay. Doesn't mean everything is all problem solved and everything is perfect now. It's never going to be that way. But they're a hell of a lot better team than they were last year. That's for sure. And yes, Tyler, the Padres, and they got pitching. They got quite a bit of it. And we gave up all that pitching, and look how our rotation's doing. Just fine. Our rotation is doing just fine. Just goes to show. Okay. Boone isn't great at what, Jose? Nobody's here saying he's great. Okay. All experienced managers do the same thing. Joe Torre did it. Joe Girardi did it. Okay. And this is also the first time that Aaron Boone has had a roster this good to begin to play to manage. The first time as a manager, the first year. First time. And there's 16 games over 500 in first place. So you could say all you want about Boone. I haven't mentioned Boone. So, the question is, yeah, Boone and Cashman, but like he's done a lot of right too. You can say that anything you want about Boone, but it's also wise to give him credit when it's due, even though a lot of people don't want to do that. A better closer, Howard, than who? Who are they going to get that's better? People keep saying this now. Like it's like a talking point going around channels. A real closer, better. Who are they going to get? Yeah, Cashman got the right pieces for the first time in a while. He did, and Boone's managing them just fine. And again, there's a reason why the lineup's consistent this year and it wasn't last year. He had lack of options last year. He had no choice. He was dealing with a crappy lineup, right? So they have much better pieces now. But yeah, I mean, and exactly too, Hector. Yeah, like Boone's not, he's not on the field with them. Cashman's not on the field with them. The players have to do their job. Okay, and they left a lot of guys on base, and it's still double plays, still leaving bases loaded and stuff like that. You can't blame Boone in that. Blame Boone for that. Gotta blame the players. Okay, and Grisham and Burr. I mean, they've also been, and people are upset about Grisham's average. He plays like once every 5 games. Expect him to hit 300. That's not a fair, that's not a fair expectation in my opinion. People don't have to agree with me, but I don't think that's a fair expectation. Birdie's playing well. Okay, and Grisham's a Gold Glove center fielder too. He's also their fourth outfielder right now. Now that could change once Jason Dominguez at some point, if it's this year or next year, that could change. We don't know. You don't know. So, and look at the players who stand up for Boone. Exactly, Tyler. I mean, better. I mean, the players like Marcus Stroman or Duga, like they all stand up for Boone, and he has confidence in his players, lets them be themselves, right? Whereas the other teams didn't do that. So now he's getting the love from a lot of players, and he's gotten back. Cole backed him, Judge backed him, Stanton backed him. It's the right people backing him. So I would encourage folks to stop listening to the noise from other content creators who don't back up their arguments with facts, or beat writers who don't back up their arguments with facts. There's a little bit more to it than that. And this is, yeah, players are standing up for each other too. That hasn't happened before in a long time. One of the problems they had with Girardi was he didn't stand up for his players. He would publicly berate them. That's one reason why they didn't bring him back. That is a real thing. Huh? Army challenge. Well, yeah. See, this is another thing too. Like, and I mentioned this yesterday on Morning Brew Sports too. And this is a great point. Mariners undoubtedly will be in defensive positioning, run saved by yep, and got to hit the baseball in the air against these teams. Five defenders and a rounder, exactly. And two. Who are the two hardest hitters on the team? Judge and Stanton, right? Who gets double played up most of the team? Judge and Stanton. Why? They hit the ball so damn hard on the ground. And these guys don't run like Billy Hamilton, don't run like Ellie De La Cruz. So of course they're gonna get doubled up. That's why, and you're absolutely right. We got to get the ball in the air a little bit more often with these guys, because when they do hit it in the air, it goes. It goes. On the ground, not so much. That's one of the big problems we have, being doubled up too often. Which is why I think it's a good fit to have Alex Verdugo at the cleanup spot, having more of a contact bat there. Put the guys in a position that are batting second and third, Judge and Soto, to be driven in more often than somebody who's probably going to get double played up more often than not. So I mean, I think Judge is in a better spot right now. I think Stanton's in a better spot right now, like batting usually sixth or so on and so forth. So because if you're going to get doubled up, I'd rather you get doubled up at sixth or batting seventh than batting fourth. So then I hear, so I don't care. I don't listen to sound on W. I don't listen to anybody on the WFAN. I don't find them very informative at all. Tyler, what did they say? Yeah, Jake Boss. I mean, two losses in a row is okay. It's okay, and that's, yeah. They hit the ball hard, and when there's runners on base, there's a lot of guys gonna get thrown out. That's what happens. That's why, like, we need to move those hits to line drives and stuff in the air. It's a heck of a lot different story when you do that. But it's easier said than done too. And Judge gets a lot of low strikes called on him. So does Stanton. So it's we got to take it. And Judge has been on fire lately too, and Stanton's still been playing hitting well too. So, but getting the ball in the air is a little bit more important for those guys. At least we need that. We need them to do that, and then hopefully they will. But it does feel like playoff baseball right now, Army. Yeah, it kind of does feel like playoff baseball. And this could be a potential matchup in the playoffs. It could very well be. The Mariners have great pitching, great pitching. They really, really do. You know, I would agree with this too, Chris. They have the best team since 2009. Yeah, I would agree too. Dominguez has not taken anybody's spot this year, Jose. I think we need to get that. Yeah, he's not ready yet. He's got to get healthy. Okay, got to make sure that he's healthy. Looks like he's in good shape, which is great. But he's not taking Verdugo's spot or Soto or Judge. That's not happening, and he needs to play on the regular basis. So I'm not going to call him up just to play him part time. While cleanup spot would be an appealing option potentially for next year, it's not happening this year. I think that's a reality that we might as well just acknowledge now. Yeah, like these guys are potentially options to be on the trade block to add to the bullpen. Definitely potential to add to the bullpen. Neither one of those guys is going to replace Clay Holmes, but it'll compliment him well. Well, this is the other thing too. Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm not joining the hype train, right? He had 2 good weeks, then then he had to get Tommy John. So he's got to prove himself over a longer stretch of time. You're absolutely right, Consigliere. Absolutely right. Jace Pierre, what's happening? And yeah, and same thing, Hector. I hope DJ comes back and does what he needs to do, puts the ball in play, and does something and adds upgraded defense in the infield. So, well, exactly. Yeah, and we need to. I would want to give Dominguez a full season of play like we did Volpe last year, which will probably be 2025. There'll be more of a spot available, especially if they move on from or if Alex Verdugo moves on. Um, I can't see them starting Trent Grisham over Dominguez if Dominguez is ready to go. Can't see that happening. And then Trent Grisham has one more year on his contract left before he's a free agent. So, yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of teams that we don't know about right now that could have relievers available. I mean, the trade deadline's still 2 months away. So, right now, there's no real. I mean, the only obvious, well, not even obvious. I mean, the only area where you can essentially upgrade in the trade might be second base. But if Gleyber Torres starts hitting, who are you going to trade for? That's going to be better than a healthy and productive Gleyber Torres is the question. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, and again, we have 2 more relievers coming back, Trevino and Efros. Yes, we do. So, and we have the Cy Young Award winner, Garrett Cole, coming back. So we have a lot of reinforcements coming, which is exciting. And I think it's important to keep in mind. There's way too much noise out there with, whether it be Clay Holmes, whether it be Aaron Boone, like it's the same kind of noise all the time, you know? Yeah, that's not unfortunately, that's not gonna be enough, Chris. Playing him part-time is not gonna do him not gonna help his development, unfortunately. I think he's gonna wind up in AAA. I mean, the Yankees have 30 days. Once you start your rehab assignment, you have 30 days to decide where he's gonna play. I think, he just got moved up to AA yesterday. I think he'll get moved up to AAA. I think he's gonna stay there probably for the whole year. Maybe he'll be a September call. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, yeah, exactly, Tyler. He needs a month or 2 of rehab games. He's got to show the ability to move up. Okay, you know, killing the ball in single A is one thing. Killing it in major leagues is no other story. So we will see, Jose. It's too early to decide, but we will see. A lot of other folks think he's going to be baseball's next superstar too. Mm-hmm. 4 games, yeah, that's probably not enough. It's probably not enough, unfortunately. He needs to play mostly every day. Yeah. If I'm them, that's probably the right way to do it. I've got to make sure his arm's healthy. Got to make sure everything else is healthy too. Especially they spent a lot of money on him. They invested a lot internationally on him, so they got to handle him with care. Dominguez, they really have to handle him with care. As excited as I am about the 2 weeks that he had, it's only 2 weeks. It's only 2 weeks. Well, again, to your point, Consigliere, 50 batting average, not good, but he plays like once every 5 days. So they've got to play him a little bit more often. But he could very well be a DFA candidate or a trade candidate at some point. So Grisham, I mean, and the Yankees still have Oscar Gonzalez, who they claimed off waivers from the Guardians, who's tearing the cover off the ball in the minors. So, and he's got a cannon for an arm, and he would be blocking Dominguez too. No, exactly, Hector. We cannot be bringing Dominguez up to play the same role that Grisham's playing. And that's not good for his development. Yeah, exactly. It's a long season, man. 100%. Man. Nothing. So spinning it. Spencer Jones is making some adjustments to his swing. I wouldn't worry too much about his batting average. And Dominguez went through the same thing. Uh, yeah, I'm not worried about him spending Mantis. Wasn't Greg Allen still here? See, well, the problem with Grisham is that he was acquired in the Juan Soto trade, and he's got 2 guaranteed years left on his contract. So, whereas Greg Allen, I guess they acquired him off of waivers or something like that. So, um, but I understand what you're saying, James. But Grisham again is an elite defensive outfielder. He just needs more playing time. He really does. But I mean, it's hard to find playing time on this team right now when your entire outfield is playing well. That's a tough thing to do. And the same thing's gonna apply to Dominguez. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So I mean, this is a good problem for the Yankees to have though. This is the first time they've had this much depth in their minor league system in decades. 2018, they kind of revamped the system on how they draft and how they develop players, and they're miles ahead of where they were before that. Miles ahead. So now the Yankees can do some things, whereas before they couldn't. Yeah, it is. It is a tougher transition from single A to double A than it is from double A to triple A. This is true. This is a good point, Army. Yeah. And double A league is stacked too. So I think Spencer Jones at the end of the day will be fine. He's got Aaron Judge's size, but he runs like Billy Hamilton. That's a unique skill set. And I think Dominguez is a smaller version of Spencer Jones. You know, and they both have speed, they have power, they have contact. Like they both have a similar skill set. So yeah, Stanton's also playing well. So I mean, like, there's no room for Dominguez right now, unfortunately. Yeah, Allen's got some wheels too, James. This is true. This is true. The Yankees have pieces here. They don't need to make these flashy trades. You know, like they have a lot of the stuff that they need in house if they get to that point. But you're right, Greg Allen got some wheels. He does have some wheels. Uh-huh. And I hope we see him at some point soon, Greg Allen. I really do. He's always fun when he's up here. I enjoy watching him. Hmm. But yeah, I mean, what are Boone and Cashman doing right, and what are Boone and Cashman doing wrong? Can anybody give me some insight? Okay? A little bit of insight. That's my question right now. I was curious to know what you're all thinking. Double A team, yes, it is, Tyler. It's beyond stacked. Yep. I think it's more stacked than the Triple A team, Tyler. The Double A is just it's at a whole nother level. So, but again, it's promising. It's a promising sign for the Yankees. Yeah. Spencer's younger version of Judge, Dominguez younger version of Soto. Kinda, Chris. Yeah. And I think I would wait until 2025, and you could potentially have both of them in the lineup with Judge and Soto. Should be fantastic. Barraclaw, greetings. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Appreciate that very much. Yeah, Hill has been a fantastic. One of the best pitchers since with the exception of Garrett Cole. And Verdugo's doing his thing too. Doing a nice, consistent contact hitter with an elite defense in outfield. He's been fantastic in the outfield. Hmm. Yeah, I'm confident too, Sean. Today's matchup, excuse me. Today's matchup is it Bryce Miller versus Nestor Cortez? Yeah, Bryce Miller who's 3-4 with a 308. Nestor Cortez 2-4 with a 356. So similar matchup tonight. Similar. Yeah, it's obvious, James. Right? It's obvious they're doing more good than bad. But a lot of folks will lead you to believe that that's not the case. Why? I don't understand. And then when I ask them, is it their opinion, their real opinion, or are they using somebody else's talking points? People generally don't like to answer that. Yeah, Brock Selvage, I think Will Warren and Chase Hampton too. He's another one, Selvage. As is Caleb Durbin, but on the offensive side, he's a good prospect too. Brock, yeah. There are guys we haven't heard from or heard of in a long time that are part of this organization, part of this farm that we're just going to see randomly out of nowhere. I think he should be focused on what if we don't keep Soto? Boone has been pretty solid. Yeah, it's just I think Cashman knows too and Hal that their first objective is to re-sign Juan Soto. It's got to be. It absolutely has to be, right? So it'd be crazy to not try to do that. Well, exactly, spinning mantis, and the bullpen ERA is like 2.2 collectively. It's pretty darn good. Yeah, Cashman had a fantastic offseason. Yeah. But the way we hear it sometimes the bullpen would have a 7 ERA, and they don't. They don't. Mid twos, low twos. That's where they're at. Mhm. Well, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's Jose Medina saying Volpe, Soto, Judge Dominguez, Jones, Augustin Ramirez, Arias, Lombard, Lane, Brock, Warren, Peter, Hampton, Rice. Any combo in this future is bright. And there's a couple other ones. Durbin, Caleb Durbin. There's a couple other folks. I'm curious to see. I'm gonna hold. I'm gonna reserve before I join in the hype train for Roderick Arias and Henry Lane, but they're highly touted. But Arias' bat is way behind his glove. That's no surprise where he's at. Henry Lane still has a lot of developing to do, but they're definitely promising prospects. No doubt about it. Yeah. Wells, Austin Wells. Yep. Austin Wells is another important piece. Yes, indeed. Exactly, Jose. Yep. And who do we not mention? Um, there are a couple of other folks. Brock Ruggio, like a couple of infield prospects that the Yankees are kind of excited about too. Let me pull up the Yankees top 30 prospects. Um, we'll go over these guys. Top 30 prospects. All right. According to this, Jason Dominguez, Spencer Jones, Chase Hampton. Then Arias at 4, Everson Pereira at 5. I saw a different one yesterday. George Lombard 6, Will Warren 7, Henry Lane 8, Brendan Maye 9, Brock Selvage 10, Kyle Carr 11, another pitcher. Ben Rice 12, Clayton Beater 13, Francisco Valorio 14, Yorbit Vivas 15, Caleb LaGrange 16, Yoendris Gomez 17, Rock Riggio, that's the guy I just mentioned, 18, undersized second baseman. Jared Cerna, another undersized infielder, 19. Augustin Ramirez, 20. Zach Messenger, 21. Tristan Vreeling, 22. Katie Smith, 23. Kate Smith, right-handed pitcher. Right-handed pitcher Jack Neely, 24th. Tyler Hardman, infielder, 25th. Anthony Hall, 26th. Danny Watson, 27, right-handed pitcher. Jason Vina, 28. Benjamin Cowles, 29. And Justin Lang, right-handed pitcher, number 30. That's their most recent 30. That's their most recent 30. Uh, I mean, I don't know. I don't think I wouldn't put a. I would only bring Dominguez up probably like September call or something like that. I need to make sure he's healthy first. And he's recovered. Jack, what's good? Peanut, what's happening? I don't think Peanut. I mean, theoretically, and I know a lot of people will like that, but Grisham's got another year left on his contract, and he's an elite defender. And I don't think that Dominguez is going to make it to the majors. But if he does, it would probably be a September call. But if he does replace somebody, it's probably going to be Trent Grisham. Hmm. Yeah. So there's a lot of good names that we haven't, that we haven't heard of in a while that we can be so excited about now. It's a testament to the Yankees. Hmm. Good chemistry, good attitude, good vibe. Hell yeah. Let's see. Yeah, he reminds. He's kind of like a lefty Randy Johnson almost. He's a big boy. He's like 6'7" from the lefty side. He's a big boy. Hmm. Left side of infield. Interesting. See, they're definitely saving those salaries. So yeah, I mean, you'd think so. And then let's just say Torres moves on. What do you do there? Hmm. What do you do if that happens? Hmm. Committing to the youth movement. In that regard, to the youth movement, you've got Caleb Durbin in the infield. You've got Yorbit Vivas, who's young. You've got John Birdie. He's a veteran player, but he could be there too. And like him and DJ will provide the infield a lot of versatility. And I know they want Oswald Peraza back up here, and he's got an elite glove, but where I worry about him catching up at the bat. I think that might be the issue. Hmm. What's up, Dev? And again, too many, too many infielders. Yeah, I mean it's a good problem to have to a degree because they're some of the most tradable pieces. So I get why they're doing it, but at some point, they've got to decide like, do you use a guy like Roderick Arias to trade for a big pitcher? They, because George Lombard is here, right? And like, don't know what they're going to do. Really don't know. Hmm. Well, yes, Arm. It's a testament to quality of baseball prospects. The prospects levels have gone up to the roof. A lot of good athletes here. Yep, a lot of good athletes. Hmm. Jose, basically, yeah. I mean, honestly, I think the chemistry was decent. And when Josh Donaldson came up, it kind of threw the chemistry out of whack. And then when he left, the chemistry became tight knit again. So I think he could probably partially responsible for that type of stuff. But we'll see. He's gotten himself into trouble with his mouth before. Mm. Hmm. Sure. If we develop, yeah, David's a good. I mean, we've got Tyler Hardman, and then we've got JT Rumfield, guys who could play corner infield spots. So I think those guys are going to be, you know, pieces that could be available for the future next year. John Birdie, you've got DJ can play third base. So like, you've got other guys that are capable of doing it. But you're right. I mean, haven't developed a prototypical third baseman since Lowell. You're right about that. And what do we go? We sent his ass to the Marlins, right? So yeah, I'm gonna try to Jack. I'm gonna try to go live after the game tonight if I can. Hopefully, we'll be celebrating a win. But I wanted to get your feedback on this, gang. I wanted to see what your thoughts were. You know, it's interesting how not a lot of people will be, you know, I find, at least on my live streams, that there are not a lot of people willing to give Brian Cashman or Aaron Boone credit when it's due. It's interesting. Hmm. But nothing, huh? All right. Well, think about it. Okay, and if you come on tonight, please bring your thoughts. So he is. No, I don't think it's a mistake. I don't think I don't think that's gonna. There's only one or two teams that could probably afford Soto like the Yankees. So, mhm, yeah, I do think they're kind of paving the way for him to be signed in the offseason. Could it happen before that? Yes. Hal has shown eagerness to do it. Yes. Brian Cashman's bracing himself for it too. He's ready to. Yes. But I have a feeling they're kind of slowly, just quietly putting the benchmarks together and paving the way for it to for that what do you call that extension to be signed this offseason, which would keep him here hopefully through his rest of his career. That would be nice. Yeah. Yeah. You gotta hit the work, Sean. That's all right. I'm gonna wrap this up in a second here. I often don't you know others may right? In my check. Exactly. Could be. It could be murders, bro. You could be right, dude. Yeah. But thank you everybody for coming on. I want to appreciate you. Thank you for the feedback. Even if you disagree, it's fine. What you agree, it's fine. We have spirited discussions here. As long as we're not trashing each other or trashing people, then we're good. We're good. Now, let's Barnes last comment here. So a lot of strong personalities and scenes. Yep. William Cashman kept the pedal to the metal since he's at 33 and 17. Yes, and then they know where to focus. They know what this team is about. They know what gets them clicking and what doesn't get them clicking. So I'm glad this is happening right now. And I'd rather it be a 2-game losing streak than a 10. I'll take that any day of the week. Yeah. Yeah, well, I agree, David. I don't think they will. Yeah. Jonathan, what's happening? Yeah, they got to do better runners and scoring position. I said this before. Like, who are the guys that get the most doubled up? Judge and Stanton. Who are the guys that hit the ball the hardest? Judge and Stanton. They hit the ball on the ground. Chances of them getting double up are pretty high. And not the same for guys like Verdugo and so on. Those guys can run. These guys really can't. So, um, but that's what it is right now. So don't be surprised if they add another contact type bat with some speed at the deadline or before it. See if they want that to be their approach this offseason. Not this towards the deadline. I mean, so all right, cool, Stephen B. Sounds good, man. But 2 games up on the O's. Yep, O's just lost to the Cardinals. But yeah, but thank you everybody for coming on. Appreciate you. Just hit the likes on the way out if you haven't done that yet. Okay, let's get the subs going. If you haven't subbed to the channel, please sub as well. We are knocking on the door. We're about 100 away from 21,000. So your support is greatly appreciated. And thank you so much, everybody here. Uncle Yeti, Tyler, you guys are the best. The best. Remember that. Have a great day. Go Yankees.